Hello Palians, the wait is almost over. The latest adventure zone, the Royal Highlands, is launching very soon. If you've somehow been asleep under a pile of hay, you might have missed the announcement, but it will officially be releasing on May 12th. Not only are we getting a huge new map, the biggest one ever, but mounts are finally arriving in the form of horses, and honestly, it's about time. If you are excited about the update and you're currently wondering how best to prepare for the biggest expansion yet, don't worry, I've got you covered, as today I'll be sharing some useful tips and tricks to make sure you're ready to hit the ground running on day one and make the most of exploring the new area. Just a heads up, this may contain a few little spoilers as I was able to attend a Palia partner preview, but if that doesn't bother you and you're ready to get saddled up, let's get straight to it. So first up, if you're excited about the launch of the new map, one of your top priorities on update day will likely be running straight over to the Royal Highlands to claim that brand new horse mount. The good news is that the requirements to enter the area aren't too demanding. To access the new map, you will only need to have completed the early quests that grant you the glider. Once that has been done, you are going to be free to explore the new region from day one and obviously start collecting things that are there. However, there is a very big catch to this. If you want to begin the Royal Highlands quest line, you will need to have completed the main Elderwood quest line first, because it does kind of feed into that. If you haven't already done this, it is worth prioritizing in your gameplay so that on day one you can jump straight into that new content and the story as soon as it becomes available. To actually access the new map, it will also be helpful to be somewhat familiar with the Elderwood region, because reaching the Royal Highlands will involve boarding a boat and sailing across the ocean to the new area. Initially, the boat that takes you across to the brand new area is at the D Mer dock, and after the update launches, this location will receive a little bit of a makeover, so it will be all prepared for the players to jump on board towards their new adventure. Once you have been in the Royal Highlands, like we did the Elderwood, we're going to then be able to begin to unlock the fast travel board. So going here won't be as important, but from the get-go, you will need to know where this area is. Whilst we're on the topic of quests, I'm just going to feed this in here. If you have already finished the main quest and you're kind of wondering what to do next, it is also a good time to clear up any remaining side quests or lingering tasks. That way you can kind of focus entirely on the Royal Highlands and kind of enjoying everything the update brings. This is the same advice that I gave to people last year when we had the Elderwood launch, and I'm going to just repeat it again in case we have new players and maybe some returning ones alike. As horses are going to be a big part of this update, let's waste no time and talk about some ranching. We know from the roadmap that the horses are definitely going to be arriving at our ranches, and they will be dropping fertilizer, which honestly makes so much sense. Horses have poops. Big poops after all. The added bonus about this is that they will also have the ability to drop speedy grow fertilizer, which is great for farming. Honestly, I was so sad when they took the ability away from us to obtain this from our crafting machines. Ranching has never been my favorite thing in the game, and I have been totally open and honest about that. So if you are like me and you are a player that has been ignoring your ranch for a little while, you may want to now try and get your hands on some of that speedy grow fertilizer, as it does come in handy. So now would be a good time to return to your ranch. I have been ignoring my animals for quite a while, and I'm a little bit scared of what it's going to be like when I return to the ranch. I have a feeling there is going to be venerated and starving animals left, right and center. So it may be a good time to kind of free up some of those venerated animals and send them off to their retirement home. Alternatively, you may have some healthy young animals, but your space may be lacking. You might be reaching the limit. If that's the case, then you may want to use one of the recent additions whereby you can kind of put them in the holding pen and you don't have to worry about them, which would be good because it would make way for some space so that you can fill it all with horses. It's going to be totally up to you. Having horses on your ranch is going to be optional. From the way that it was described to us, I believe that the horses that are on your ranch will just be there for like ranching animals like we have seen separately, The horse that you actually ride will be obtained through a quest, so it's kind of not intermingling. If, however, there is the handler's license that do come with this, potentially you may want to breed to get some of the kind of interesting, fantastical kind of species that are out there for the horses. So it depends what kind of route you want to go with this. Even if you don't decide to actively do something with your ranching, maybe it's something worth thinking about ahead of the update. You may also want to keep visiting your ranch to help make some extra money, as the next thing I'm going to recommend is saving up some gold. The main reason why you are going to want gold for this update is the new upcoming Jadium storage system. If the developers follow the previous patterns of adding the recipes for the new storage chest to Tish's furniture store, then this new upgrade could potentially be quite costly. At present, the Palium storage chest recipe, which is the highest tier currently, is available for 100,000 gold, and the one before that is 50,000. Due to this gap, I think it's pretty reasonable to kind of think that Jadium storage recipe could be 150,000 or maybe even 2,000 gold. For the sake of our bank balances, it would be really nice if the Jadium storage recipe is earned through kind of a quest or something like that. But I've not seen that happen yet, and it kind of would be a big kind of detour from the route they've taken so far. So I would highly recommend that you do save up some money just in case. I won't go over the best ways to make money here, as there are kind of lots of different ways to do that in the game, and we probably all kind of have our favorite options. But I definitely think that is something to be prepared for ahead of update day. Don't go on a massive spending spree on May the 11th, that's for sure. Another new thing coming with this update is the option to dye your outfits with tailor tickets. Tailor tickets will now be able to be traded in to purchase the color palettes that you can then take away and go ahead and adjust your clothes with. This is honestly a huge game changer for the way outfit customizations will work. The system will allow for more personal style expression options, and if you are someone who hasn't really enjoyed the colors of the outfits in the game, you will now be able to alter them. So if you're currently looking at the currency tab and thinking, dang, I could have collected a few more of those, don't worry, you still have a bit of time, so ensure that you are logging in daily and collecting those tickets. Remember that this currency does cap out at 500 tickets, so you may want to purchase some dyes if you are nearing that cap and you kind of see one that catches your eye. The next new thing we know that is going to be new is a brand new housing line and the furniture set. If you are a long-term player like me and you have lots of housing plots unlocked and you have half-finished build products left, right and center, now may be a good time to think about tidying up these plots and rearranging them, especially if you're going to be wanting to decorate a brand new plot with this new housing line and the very fancy furniture set. I do think that this particular line is a little bit more on the posh side, should we say, so that means it might not fit as well with some of the other housing lines we've had recently. So if you do want a separate plot, as they say, now might be the time for a spring clean. I personally definitely will be going through my plots, and I may have to say goodbye to some of my previous products to make way for something new. When it comes to actually crafting the new furniture in the housing line, there is a very, very strong possibility that these will require some of the new resources that come with the Royal Highlands. However, we still can get prepared for their arrival by ensuring we have certain resources that we see frequently used over and over in the housing line and materials that require crafting machines. By this, I'm mainly thinking about glass, so ensuring that you have your stone in the glass maker, just because you are definitely going to need it for those windows, and also consider thinking about clay, turning those into ceramics, just basically things that you know you're going to need to have in your crafting machines. And remember, if your storage is getting quite full, then you can also use your crafting machines to store things in until you need them, and then you can go back and grab them. Additionally, if your storage is getting quite full, then also do remember that you do not need to panic about kind of basic resources, as remember you can purchase some of these in the cash register at the blacksmith in Kilmer. So if you're kind of got thousands of planks stacked up, you're probably realistically not going to need thousands of planks stacked up, but I would highly recommend kind of maybe thinking about selling them, and you can always run and buy some if you need to at short notice. So there is that to consider as well. It's not just resources for furniture that you may want to stock up on, but also consider things that will help give you a little bit of a boost when you're using your skills in the world, and they may help you find things that little bit quicker. By this, I'm obviously talking about the purchasable kind of items from the guild store, for example, obtaining the mining compasses to help you track the mining nodes a little bit quicker, and perhaps some honey laws might help you get your hands on the new bugs quicker too. I could run over all of these things that give you boosts, but I definitely think you get the gist. I don't think hoarding these will come with any downside, as you will probably always use them over time. And from the descriptions, we are going to be getting new variants of everything: fish, bugs, huntable creatures, and of course new forageables. So any extra help may go a long way when you are exploring this new map. I have been so guilty for the longest time of not eating focus food. It feels like an eternity that people have been telling me off for doing this. So ahead of the new map, I'm going to remind you not to be like me and prepare some focus food ready for the new map. If you're going to be playing lots during the launch, then you might as well get those extra buffs by filling your stomach. I'm sure you all have your own preferred food to eat, but if you are new to this, I particularly like doing pickled potatoes, mainly because I am lazy at cooking. Next, we're going to talk about tools, and if you're a seasoned player, you probably already have the highest level of tools possible, but if you are a new player or kind of a mid-term player who doesn't have the exquisite tools, you do not need to panic. During the Elderwood launch, I went around wagging my finger at people, demanding that they upgraded their tools, but it looks like we aren't going to have to worry about this as much for this map. The developers have said that the harvestables are on par with Palium level, which requires fine tools plus. The reason for that is that mid-gamers and casual players can enjoy this map a bit more from the get-go, which is nice that they're kind of trying to cater more to everyone. During our Palia partner preview, we were also told that gold and iron would be available on the map, so it kind of gives you an idea of what level your tools would be required. So overall, if you don't currently have the exquisite tools, don't go rushing out panicking that you don't have them. Whilst on the topic of tools, I will also just give you a quick reminder to have your repair kits at the ready. Although we don't know how many repair stations are going to be on the map itself is going to be huge. We had a preview of this and I couldn't quite grasp it. They literally had to realign the whole map space just so that it would fit in the game. So if that doesn't give you an idea of how big this map is going to be, I don't know what will. But just bear in mind the repair kits are super handy to have on you, and if you're going to be wanting to spend lots of time on the map, it's definitely something you should have in your backpack. This same logic also applies to your inventory, as there is going to be so many things to collect. I would definitely recommend that if you haven't already, you go ahead and purchase all of those backpack upgrades, as it is so frustrating having to fill this up. In addition, I did mention the Elderwood quest earlier, but be sure to have the carrier pet ability unlocked, as it is so helpful. And finally, I said that you should wrap up your current quest, but as we go into a new update, don't forget to complete your current bundle board. The bundle board does get refreshed with every update, so you don't want to miss out on the chance to get the reward which came with them, especially those new tints. This board definitely did require a little bit more effort this time around with all of those eggs, but it gave me something to work towards, which I really appreciated. We have also now had confirmation with this upcoming patch that some of the items in the Kinema coin store that you find at City Hall are going to be replaced with new additions. So if you haven't yet purchased everything you want from that store, make sure that you go ahead and do that. Some of the items in there, for example, the Naga plush, if you're a snake fan, you might want to stock up on those, especially with all of those coins that we've been getting from the 10 million celebration. So don't forget to pop in there too. So there we have it. Let me know what you are going to be doing to prepare for this huge update and help out your fellow Palians by leaving a comment below. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm looking forward to this update. I hope you are too, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.